Right, y'all, welcome to the Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out some more Ukrainian combat footage. Now this is from the Azov unit, and this one was probably one of the most requested videos that I've gotten in a long time. But this is titled Assault Operations near Kreminna, Azov seizes and clears enemy positions. Now it's about 34 minutes long, so I'll try not to pause it too much. But again, kind of like clicking through this, it is pretty much intense throughout the entire thing. So again, I'll try not to pause it too much, but there might be a lot happening in the video where we might have to. But yeah, this was very highly requested, and I think I can already see why just kind of clicking through it. But it should be interesting. If you guys haven't seen it, I think you guys will be able to appreciate, you know, what these fighters have to go through. So let's check it out. Oh, that looks so trippy. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen, but it'll buff. Dude, the trench warfare is so gnarly. Golly, I've seen that clip on Instagram already, and it's pretty brutal. Yeah, somebody sent me that individually, and I don't know if he ended up surviving, but that's just like one small clip in this entire video. Where the AirPods is like his ear pro or something? I mean, I guess it wouldn't work too bad, but it's definitely not going to stay in very long. Damn. Their kit looks pretty freaking insane. Again, Azov is kind of like a special unit in Ukraine for sure, but I don't know if this is all kind of like personally funded stuff. 18 mags. Okay, so it looks like they're doing like PCCs or like pre-combat checks, making sure everybody generally has what they need. Really, really important to make sure you don't forget something simple like ear protection or eye protection or something, gloves. Because that stuff will take you out of the fight pretty quick.
Из 36 человек, который будет заходить на позиции противника, и тем самым нужно, есть участок фронта, который нужно немного сместить линию обороны противника и выровнять в более удобные условия для нас. Я был там командиром взвода.
The interviews really do help with kind of understanding the background and stuff.
Прийшов, сказав, так і так, хлопці, є можливість штурмувати. Все, я погодився.
A chance to storm.
Ты идешь на штурм, где, скорее всего, ты можешь получить, не буду говорить что, и ты должен брать с собой тех людей, в которых ты уверен. Ну, у нас никто не идет на штурм, так как, не буду назвать некоторые подразделения. Так, ты идешь на штурм, типа, парни там думают, а че я? У нас на штурм как? Кто хочет на штурм? И желающих всегда масса примерно, типа.
Yeah, for something like that, that's a pretty freaking brutal, very violent task. And if people don't necessarily have kind of combat experience before that, it's going to be a lot for them to handle. I mean, that's kind of like the most engrossed you can be in combat, especially kind of like how we're seeing here. So yeah, it makes sense to try and get volunteers, especially people who have some experience with it. Or with combat.
Да никого не надо настраивать. Вот кто реально хочет, тот идет на штурм. Но очень важно, чтобы этот человек уже прошел какой-то отрезок времени в пехоте, чтобы он понимал, что такое, когда у него 120-й летит, 152-й и так далее.
Yeah, no doubt.
Коли тільки запропонували цю ідею, я думав, що зачем воно треба. А потім, вже коли почали працювати, я вірив в успіх, я думав, що у нас буде все гарно. Я був налаштований, що буде все добре.
I like how they said that when we started working.
Я розумів, що якщо з ним щось станеться, я піду йому допомогти. Якщо зі мною щось станеться, він допоможе мені. Я був впевнений в ньому, мені було комфортно.
That trust in like a combat element, especially one like this, is huge. I mean, you can't really go into something like this not having that trust. Kind of sets you up for failure already. So it looks like, are they going to be attacking that dawn then? Yeah, if you guys don't know, red lenses are good just because it's obviously harder to spot from far away, but it also allows you to maintain your night vision a little bit better. It's much more tactical to use a red lens than like a white light. I love seeing the command post too. So they have arty, they have tanks. Yeah, so they're
Мы работали с
right at
танком.
daybreak.
Была задача такая, что заезжает танк, прорабатывает позиции, прямой наводкой. Он заехал прямо на территорию противника. Перед этим там проработали наши саперы. После этого начала работать
Oh,
наша
damn.
техника.
I mean, that's got to be terrifying to be moving through like the still kind of like low light darkness with a tank and stuff. But at the same time, like the psychological effect of just hearing a tank coming into your position, it's going to be, it's pretty brutal. I mean, just even talking from like a training perspective, if you have like armor sort of moving up on your position, it starts, you know, getting you to kind of cycle and stuff, and you start thinking about a whole lot, and it kind of pulls you out, and you kind of need to refocus. And sometimes it's very difficult, especially in actual combat. The psychological effect is going to be huge. And I don't know, I mean, I imagine it might be harder to just employ most anti-tank weapons if they don't have specific sights for these low light positions. While the tank is pretty well set up for the low light stuff. I'm not a tanker though, I'm kind of curious what a tanker's perspective would be on that. Oh, I feel a lot better with tanks kind of moving up with me.
Хижак, вы выдвинулись?
Плюс принял. Движение.
Плюс принял, работай.
It's so trippy to think about. Like Condor is like the hat that he's wearing is like, it was like a huge airsoft company or airsoft brand growing up, and now seeing it being worn by these Ukrainian fighters in this massive war, it's just, I don't know, it's a weird thought, I guess. I'm sure Condor appreciated that they're able to kind of supply them.
В темпе. Колено!
It looks like they're not employing their nods, which it's gonna be a lot of extra weight.
Было весело. Это точно. Ну, я шел в первой четверке, было кайфово.
Damn, just hyped, huh? Good movement though. They're like bounding up with the tanks as they're working the positions. Pretty standard tactic. It wasn't one that we got to practice too much like in the infantry, but in combat, yeah, it's huge. Makes it a lot easier and more comforting for the infantry if you do it right. Good control of movement though from the team leader and squad leaders. Hearing that radio chatter, like not being there, must be wild. Oh damn, is that the tank? Oh shit, that is not something you want to see.
Я иду в рыма танка, там дистанция 20 метров.
Ah, jeez.
Такой думаю, ого, наверное, надо уже бежать. Я даю команду своей группе, что начинаем движение двигаться к окопу.
I mean, the tanks are so helpful, but again, just like
Экипаж танка целый, как принял?
a tank getting hit, just losing a tank like that. Nice. Oh, at least the tank
И в этот
did a good
момент
job in
немного
protecting
все
them.
пошло не по плану.
Танк подбили, танкисты уходят!
So now you gotta obviously get some guys to help him out.
Всі
Oh,
ситуації
dude, seeing the
продумували,
tankers
що і
coming.
як іде, типу, скажімо так, ситуації би такої би не було. Щоб ти якось би розгубився, чи ще якась така штука.
Oh my gosh, the tanker's coming out and running towards these guys.
Мы в моменте самого штурма уже так сказать, выходили из них просто на месте и принимали решения уже во время непосредственно боя.
Я иду, стреляю по противнику, вижу, как противник вот так стоит, в начале окопа, и вот так машет головой, думает, походу габела.
Yeah, I mean, once the guys are like already on you,
И мы продолжаем штурм.
the formations are looking pretty good. Now they're getting in the trenches, which aren't even like much of trenches, to be honest. It's almost like you can kind of just stay outside of the trench, but again, the angles get weird, and you don't want to be getting shot at from inside of a trench,
Тяжелая.
even if it's not that deep. And these guys are probably pretty well versed in trench warfare, so the movement probably comes pretty natural at this point.
Там было укрытие, которое за счет обстрела оно снизилось и надо было ползти.
Я колдун! С3, С2+.
Я такой, в чем дело? Типа спрашиваю парней, они говорят, типа надо ползти. Я такой, плюс, ползите. Я выбегаю на бруствер.
Oh, damn, they're going out of it.
Я резко перезарядился, начинаю дальше вести огонь.
Damn, their movement is really solid though. Like they're keeping the momentum really well, which is definitely something you want to do in the assault.
Я такой, ого.
Вон там, понял? Выйди на узнай за мурафа.
Man, it must be crazy to get like positive identification of an actual target though. And all your guys are kind of just in these trenches around you. Like there's so much happening at once.
Очень долго на месте.
And this guy's right down there too. Jeez. He's got guts though, getting up on that parapet there. Damn, and seeing all the perspectives is wild.
Не прошло, повтори. Да, Саня. Блядь, там красный, надо сейчас вызывать.
I don't know how many trenches they have, but they're doing a pretty good job getting through this one at least. I mean, with the already in the tanks, of course, that definitely helped push them out of some of the earlier trenches at least, or some of the closer ones.
Ваха, я прием.
And it really just goes to show like how
Сейчас берешь пулемет торнадо, работаешь с ним.
How crucial it is to have hand grenades and like grenade launchers to hit some of that dead space, kind of angle it in.
Тут так нагло никто не делает, наверное. Но вот это действительно с разряда, вот было бы более наглее, если мы просто на пикапах заехали, подъехали к ним дорог. Это было вообще типа,
that would be
самое наглое.
that'd be something else. I don't know how I'd respond if I was
Они
defending.
сначала очень сильно удивились происходящему, такие, нас штурмуют, не может быть, типа, где наша артиллерия? Артиллерия там еще спала, наверное. И за счет того, что мы подошли очень тихо и достаточно хорошо сработали.
Yeah, the movement up is textbook, really. And it goes to show, like, just like you kind of see a lot of these guys with their AKs and stuff, and some have optics, some have just like iron sights. Like when you see this kind of terrain and you're just using iron sights, it makes it so much harder to kind of find the contrast of your sights with the background and the targets. So having something like a red dot makes it a lot easier to kind of discriminate where your optic is and where the target is kind of compared with the background. Everything might just blur together if you just have like iron sights, especially AK iron sights aren't fantastic. They'll work for sure, but
Колдун, колдун,
it's kind of a
помощь
convenience
надо
thing for
восполнять.
sure.
Минус, минус, у нас все целы, продолжаем работу.
Oh, so minus is like
Плюс,
negative?
красавчики, продолжайте.
Nice throw.
Стой, не спеши.
Ooh.
Одиночными, зайди сюда.
Oh, I like how he's controlling that too. Like, make sure you're not rushing. Even though you threw a grenade, don't just like rush over. And don't just... Full auto fire is kind of something you might do more of like the initial entry into a trench. But after that, it's kind of more like CQB. And you want to use more of the semi-automatic fire. Dude, this blanket stressed me out. Imagine what it's like to be inside one of those shelters behind the blanket and then someone just starts shooting in. You're just like waiting for a grenade to come through. I wonder if he purposely put his GoPro down like this or if it just got knocked. Damn, the terrain is just so wild. Again, you can practice trenches all day when they look like nice and clean, but these trenches are far from that. Makes it easier to kind of see the outline of it though when you see all the dirt around.
Все, С6 зачистили, двигаются дальше.
Okay, so those are the objective names, I guess.
У нас 300, цели 300.
Принял тебя.
Oh shit, where'd he get hit?
Ваха на стрекозе 300, красный, как принял, нужна эвакуация.
Суббота, суббота, первая пятерка пошла.
It's hard to tell just by like his facial expressions, like how much pain he's in or where he got hit. Especially with the adrenaline and stuff, you can't really tell. Oh dude, the flash, he's got a flashlight too, that is clutch. Oh, they got a POW? Oh, he's strobing him now too.
Завяжите его и пусть сидит.
Nice commands.
Пленный! Пленный! Руки! Руки вверх! Руки вверх! Нічого нема з собою! Там хтось ще є? Тільки ти один був! Руки! Руки вверх! Руки вверх! Визови двох людей сюди! Все, руки вверх, щоб я бачив!
Oh, they got the Russian MREs. No thanks.
Все. Зачем ви сюди прийшли?
Damn, they got a full-blown interrogation happening during all this. Golly, so much to look at. It's so easy to kind of get like tunnel vision on something. Ooh, especially when it's like the smoke hasn't even like cleared much. It's got to be nerve-wracking, kind of moving into that. And they got the war shouts coming out now.
Не понимаю, здесь... Плюс, плюс!
It's just these guys. I mean, looks like it's just these guys kind of pushing up in this area, which it's pretty intense to just see like two guys making this much progress. But again, it's so easy to kind of just get not complacent, but just like really want to push the momentum and go a little bit too fast, and you know, bypass one of these shelters without clearing it properly or something. And look, this is why you really need like the trust. I mean, you have your buddies behind you just shooting over your head.
Я не бачу ні черта, друже. Щас. Що там в баку? Я не можу йому бронік, блядь, снять його, сука!
На цьому штурмі моя була задача, як і всіх, перш за все, це штурмувати. І допоміжна моя задача це була надавати допомогу.
That's why, like, I mean, having something like trauma shears is really nice to have just to be able to kind of cut through armor and stuff, but having armor that's easy to kind of, you know, take off, whether it be the tubes or what have you. For the most part, armor is pretty easy to do that, but again, depending on the position you're in and everything else that you have on you, it might not be that easy. So having something to just cut it off makes it a lot quicker to be able to identify where the injury is actually at.
Нього десь тут, друже.
Тоді для мене вже штурмові дії закінчилися, я вже був саме медиком. Я просто підбігав до бійця, надавав йому домедичну допомогу, яку я можу йому дати в бойових умовах. І прибігала група евакуації, викликав хижак.
Братик, давай, живи!
Викликав групу евакуації, яка прибігала, забирала і
евакуювала хлопців. Я далі проводив
чи бойові дії, чи біжав до наступних поранених і надавав їм допомогу.
Бля, братик, держись, пожалуйста.
So if you had you got hit in the side, I guess. At that point, you really needed to check one, if you know the lungs are collapsing and stuff.
Було всього 3 людини, яким я надавав допомоги.
But two, like injury to the heart is, I mean, that'd be pretty quick, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But
Зим, спасите его, блядь,
in the field, kind of just treating the lungs
Ти його садиш, держиш за руки, я мотаю бандажом, давай.
and making sure you relieve the pressure from that if you can. But especially in a trench like this, it just makes everything so much more annoying.
Суббота, выдели 2 человека, брат, надо вынести тяжелого. Нужно его спасти.
Коли ти хлопцям даєш допомогу, він тобі потім там особисто чи пише, чи дзвонить, чи каже, типу, дякую, ти мене врятувався. Це добре, ти там пишаєшся собою, думаєш, я молодець, туди-сюди. Ну, типу, класно, ти спас когось. Це добре, коли ти свого побратима спасаєш і ти його ще бачиш. А коли ти надаєш допомогу і людину не зміг спасти, ти часто колупаєшся в своїй голові і думаєш, а може я щось зробив неправильно, може можна було врятувати, а я щось зробив не так, щось неправильно прочитав, неправильно вивчив, неправильно зробив. І тоді ти починаєш таки думати, краще я буду просто штурмовиком і не класти чиєсь життя на свою відповідальність. Але це твої хлопці, це твої побратими, тобі з ними потім після війни ще їхати відпочивати, тому що треба їх спасати.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just really limited what you can do, but having some equipment to help, at least like a chest seal or like a decompression needle for the lung, things like that.
Сука! Шеллер! У него есть шанс, брат?
Звісно, у всіх всегда є шанси. І саме складне було, коли тебе просять хлопці, врятуй його.
Oh, but when the
намагайся
lungs are
це
filling
зробити,
up,
а
I-
бачиш, що це не виходить.
Again,
Просто не
there's
виходить нічого зробити.
Only
Це
certain
саме
things you
складний
can
етап.
do.
Саме для іменно в голові.
Шелест, шелест. Я сейчас возьму тебя за руку, если ты меня слышишь, пожми меня руку немного. Пожми руку, если слышишь. Шелест.
Плюс, поэт, я хижак.
Я не чувствую пульса.
Брат,
Пацаны, выносите все равно.
давайте, да.
Пацики, пробуем.
Там же Зим пошел, все нормально.
At least they have a later to put him on, but I don't know what the evacuation's looking like.
Давай. Шелест, братан, живи, блядь!
Взяли его в штилу.
Парни, вторая группа, дочищайте!
Давай.
Не в курсе.
Damn, that's gotta be such a shitty feeling. And then moving back into the assault after that, it's like your head would get so clouded. Like you really need some time to kind of decompress from that.
Прок, смотрите,
Which,
блин,
you know,
ножи внимательно!
You don't always get that luxury.
Я ебу. Хуй его знает, походу нет. Бля. Бля, здорово, да? Да, нормально. Нет.
БК красный, прок, БК красный. Есть рация пишется.
Oh, enemy radio. Dude, that's so nerve-wracking.
Хижак, я пун. Противник готовится зайти в кишку, как принял.
Принял.
Damn, that's some good intel right there.
Как принял, Прок? Суббота в окопе.
Golly, that trench looks like such a pain in the ass to get through.
Суббота, продвигайтесь, нужно заменить наших. У них БК красный.
So, I guess they're saying the ammo is red, so they're getting pretty low on ammo, which is another tough thing. Like, it's easy for moving up online to kind of track someone's ammo and track your guys' ammo, but when everybody's kind of moving through these trenches and these shelters and stuff, makes it so much harder. Everybody needs to kind of communicate what ammo level they're at. They're doing a good job of exploiting those grenades, but with some of these trenches with the blankets and stuff, you can't even be sure that the grenade's even being that effective.
Ну зато весело.
So you might push up and then just start getting hit from that.
Где Шелест, брат?
Сейчас идем
Куда пулемет выставить?
туда, да.
Плюс.
Контрольте, растяни там людей.
Плюс.
It's crazy seeing all these young dudes just being leaders in combat like this. Of course, it's not anything new, but seeing it to this kind of scale and in this kind of quality,
Стой, стой.
this accessible.
Прок, мы на С-15, как принял, растягивай.
Проходим. Да, чисто.
Минус.
Выстраивай своих выставь. Смотрел в ту сторону.
Dude, that guy's been like point man for so long, he must be like on edge.
Туда, да. Контрольте тот франк, растяни там людей.
Yes, now they're kind of reconsolidating everybody and ammo, I would imagine.
Давай, туда.
Which if you get like a lull in the fight, or if you move to a certain objective, you can kind of do that. The number 2 man on the radio is kind of stressful. Dude, that guy's just going in there. Fucking hell. Damn. I wonder where he got hit.
Ему скажи.
He's doing good though, like drag him back and then pick up security real quick. Somebody else got to pull that other guy out though.
Еще гранату дайте. Туда раньше. Затягивай сильно.
Looks like his leg then.
Прикройте.
Хижак, я прикрывайте фланги на север, как принял, на север.
Принял. Харон. Я хижак, прием.
Как там блиндаж? Где он был?
Oh, his head bleeding too? Shit.
Ползи назад.
I feel so bad for that dude on the ground. Like, he's just struggling there for a pretty long time. I mean, especially with, looks like he took multiple rounds and stuff.
Пидоры по рации передают, что вызывают танк. Контрольте, пожалуйста, дороги, все
Oh, snap.
подъезды.
Yeah, I haven't seen many
Хижак,
anti-tank weapons,
мы
at least
все
on their...
слышим, передаю дальше, все
person.
контролится, небо контролит все, как принял.
Плюс принял. Если вдруг танк появится на горизонте, дайте знать, как принял прием.
Надо проверить блиндаж.
Well, at least there's a fire in there, so... That dude is still in there. He's probably not breathing or seeing too well. Oh, dude, he's still there. Just the hell he's going through right there.
Ебать, мне в плиту попало. Прикрывай!
В начале. На стрекозу. Смотри, там в начале лежит пулеметчик наш, контролит фланг. Понял? Ему скажи, чтобы он держал и встречай резерв, там 5 человек. Они в твоем распоряжении, растягивают. Так,
Does
сюда,
it do that? Is
да,
he-
не дальше. Все, плюс. Хижак, стрекоза зачищена. Выстраиваем оборону по возможности, оказываем помощь 300-м. Группу лагерь вызовите, нужно пацанов эвакуировать.
Группа уже выдвинулась. Смотри, противник пытается обойти кишку и зайти вам в фланг, я так
Dude,
понимаю.
having that intel is clutch.
Контрольте фланги!
Контроль фланги! Фланги!
Как я понимаю, со стороны Мураки плюс.
Вот сам штурм у нас занял по времени около 20 минут.
20 minutes,
непосредственно сам
golly.
штурм. После того, как мы закрепились, противник, как
It's gonna be
только
a
понял,
long
что
20
их
minutes,
людей
though.
нету на позиции, сразу начал плотную массированную артподготовку. Когда мы делаем налеты какие-либо на позиции, мы зашли, противника уничтожили, позицию взорвали там, либо уничтожили и отошли. В таком темпе потерь намного меньше с нашей стороны. На данный момент противник преобладает силами артиллерии, у них намного больше запас боеприпасов. Но в стрелковых боях, когда непосредственно идут штурмы,
So I
наши
wonder,
парни
like-
на 2 головы выше, потому что каждый тренируется. 24/7 каждый холостится,
Somebody comes
каждый
in and
работает
tries
своим
to
оружием, и каждый
take that
знает свою
position
задачу.
back after that
То есть в этом плане мы не сомневаемся, что мы лучше
artillery
противника.
fire.
Но при этом мы его никогда недооцениваем и стараемся выкладываться на полную и готовимся к худшему там, результату, который в принципе возможен, там, вплоть до того, что мы не сможем вообще в принципе заштурмовать позиции и будем как-то откатываться, прорабатываем даже эти варианты, потому что ну, на действности, там, на месте все может быть.
Yeah, well said. I don't know how long he's been around, but it seems like he has a pretty good idea of the overall picture, Russian tactics, kind of what his guys need to do.
2-300.
Говорю, при сам... Не, ну, бля, хотя
The
давай.
Snickers, we've been seeing a lot of the Snickers.
Один человек потерял. А потом тупо арта
It's like, I
просто.
think it's Hershey. Hershey just like supplying it or
Да,
something.
меня нахуй, я не знаю, сколько раз контузило, блядь. И когда я слышу разве, что типы там передают, что не контужены, думаю, еба. Я не знаю, как меня не затрехсотило, типа, его,
Yeah, with
блядь,
all
его
those
вообще
grenade
пуля
explosions.
прилетела,
Jeez.
блядь, в жилет, нахуй, тупо.
Я, короче, до этого думал, нахуя плитоноски носить, ебать, тупо что. А оказывается, носить нормально.
Надо чего пройдется.
Было весело.
Definitely necessary.
Короче, да.
На связи, хижак. Граем слова. Плюс-минус нормальная. Мы отодвинулись, людей расставили. Как я проговаривалось.
Makes
Да не,
sense.
нормальная, плюс-минус. Да, там этот.
Like, dude, let me just smoke and eat my Snickers.
Люсь я принял. Да,
That was intense.
да, плюс еще один плен.
Again, with all the perspectives as well, like 20-minute assault with all the different perspectives and everything, really allows you to see what's happening in different parts of the trenches and stuff. And kind of seeing how they're handling the wounded and stuff is just like, it's awesome to kind of get that perspective as well. But also just really crappy to kind of see when people don't actually, you know, make it through. And you kind of see all the effort that kind of goes into that. And just the fact that they need to push the assault after kind of experiencing that, definitely not an easy thing to do. Yeah, so when it comes to assaults, again, we can see Azov definitely has it down when it comes to these trench assaults and these raids, kind of storming them and whatnot. And it, as far as like videos go, that kind of showcase, one, different perspectives, two, again, kind of like the casualty care, three, the planning, all the radio chatter, kind of the intelligence. And when you're talking about kind of seeing all those roles, it just gives us a good idea of kind of how much it takes, how many man hours it takes to support just kind of like a 20-minute raid like this. There's a lot going into it. There's a lot of, potential for people to get hurt. There's a lot of things that people need to do to make sure that people aren't getting more hurt. Kind of like what they were saying with observing the tanks and kind of making sure that, if they started crossing the horizon, those guys were kind of aware of it, and then pushing off the objective before the artillery starts kind of hitting their positions, and of course getting the casualty evacuation. So there's a lot of things in play, a lot of things to consider, and this video did a really good job of kind of showcasing that. So of course, I'll put the original one down in the description so you guys can go and check out their YouTube channel. But again, this is just one example of the many assaults that this specific unit has done. There's a lot of units out there. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there. And it's just, again, it's mind-blowing to think of the amount of coverage that we're seeing with this war. I mean, just, again, in this assault, having all the different kind of camera angles and everything, it's pretty wild to think about, at least for me, kind of thinking about the infantry. And people in the GWATs, you never had this kind of coverage and whatnot. However, of course, very different kind of war. But yeah, the amount of stuff that we're seeing on YouTube is kind of unreal, and kind of unprecedented, at least before this. But hopefully you guys were able to kind of appreciate the commentary and whatnot, and definitely appreciate what these guys are going through. But definitely let me know what you guys think. And if you have anything else to recommend, definitely feel free to throw it my way. There's a few other videos that also got very highly requested, so I'm going to check those out after this. But there's a lot of stuff to check out and kind of spread some awareness on. But hopefully you guys were able to appreciate the video. That is it for this one. I'll see you on the next one.